everybody, it's Kia. So today I wanted to go ahead and do our week 2 budget check-in. I have already kind of filled out a few spots on the weekly check-in page. I wanted to go ahead and track our auto fuel, food, shopping, pets, and I do have one unbudgeted item that's going to come through this payday. Or this week, not payday, because this doesn't cover a full payday. But let's go ahead and show you the other page. This one is my expense tracker. I have been trying to update this daily just so that I can kind of keep track of what's coming in and going out. I really like the process of doing the highlighter method so that I can see what's going on. I've decided that our debt payments are going to be blue, and anything that's been budgeted in, like utilities, auto fuel, things like that, I've highlighted in this kind of teal color. And then shopping, food, those kind of things that are more discretionary, I've highlighted in the orange color. And then just because I get to writing and I don't really think about it until I started writing it down already, I have included the transfers. I highlighted those in yellow just so that I don't try to pick them up when I'm adding things up for the weekly check-in. So that's what I've done so far for this week's check-in. I do have everything written in on the back, and then anything that comes through as unbudgeted, I'm going to go ahead and highlight in pink. That way it really pops out. So that's what that one looks like. And let's go ahead and zoom in and we'll kind of go through it. Okay, so I got you scooched up. First week took most of the page. I did have to go through and rewrite it because I spilled coffee all over it first thing in the morning when I was updating it. So I did rewrite it, and yeah, so let's go ahead and dive in. The first couple items we have on here are we ate out a couple times. We did buy some gas for the car. We've got our Chewy order. We basically just ordered the dog food, so that was a lot lower than what we had budgeted for. We have a transfer, and as you can tell, we ate out a lot, it looks like. We had our Best Buy payments. We have one of our debt payments here. And then over here on this side, Intuit, so that one was kind of an unbudgeted item. I wasn't really thinking in advance when I did the budget, but I do taxes kind of on the side, I guess, for family members. And so I had to purchase some e-file authorizations. Thank goodness, they're going to end up reimbursing me for it. So that's not really going to break the bank. But I did have to buy 2 e-file authorizations. Oh, and then the other cool thing is that they actually had them like 40% off. So I ended up getting 2 for almost the price of 1. Capital One, we did make a debt snowball payment, so that was super exciting. And then we had some more food purchases and some shopping. We did pretty good on our Walmart order. We only spent $71.83, so that was super exciting. And then we finally have part of our medical bills paid out for the therapy that they've been doing remotely by phone lately. So that's going to be exciting to get that one taken care of. I think we're going to try and get the rest of it taken care of next week. I don't know why, but they did only want to go ahead and take the payment for the first 2. But that's okay. We'll pay the other 2 next week, I think. We also had the Newegg card. That was my husband's. That one came way under budget. I wasn't really sure what the payment was going to be on the last one. But this one came out to only $25. And then we also had one of the student loan payments and 2 more credit card payments. So that's what happened for the week. So far it looks, comparing this side of the page to this side of the page, we did much better on our shopping. We didn't use quite as much of the paper as we did last time, so getting a little better. The next thing I'm going to be trying to do is do more no spend days, and hopefully we'll be able to slowly get things more under control. So that is my expense tracker. Now over here I do have the weekly check-in page, and this is where I just want to keep track of our more discretionary spending. So auto fuel, food, shopping, pets, and unbudgeted items. And for the most part, I don't think I'm going to keep track of like the debt payments, those kind of things. I will just keep track of those when we close out the paycheck budget. So I did go through and add everything up just to kind of speed things along. And we'll go ahead and fill in what we started the budget with and then what we ended up spending. So for auto fuel, we had budgeted for $100. And then food, we budgeted $200. Shopping, I did $150. Pets, I did $80. And then we didn't do anything for unbudgeted. So let me go ahead and add those up because I did not total those up before I started the video. Okay, so I'll get that kind of out of the way. So we had $100, $200, $150, and $80. Whoops. Okay, so we had budgeted for $530 this payday in total for all that. Okay. So as far as expenses go, we only had the one auto fuel purchase, so that was $15. And so that's going to leave us with $85 left over. Now food, we spent quite a bit on food. We had several days that we ate out. It was going to be my daughter's birthday, so we ate out a couple times for that. And then usually for date night, we'll either watch a movie, buy a movie, something like that, or we'll go ahead and get takeout. So along with our Walmart purchases and the eating out, we spent $208.96. So we went over budget by $8.96 already for this payday. Thank goodness we only have one more week to go. I'm pretty sure we can get through the rest of the week without overspending too much. But I think that we had a couple purchases on Friday and I close up my budget on Thursday. So we'll have a few more things come through. Now shopping, we did spend quite a bit on shopping. Shopping is going to be, if I look at the expense tracker, so shopping was primarily cigarette purchases, but we finally figured out how we're going to start addressing that for the moment. So we budgeted $150. It was actually $164.82. So we overspent by $14.82. So that's not too bad, but we will have a little more that's going to be coming through this next week before we get paid again. Pets, we spent $56.43 on our Chewy order. And so that leaves us with $23.57. And then for unbudgeted, we did have the Intuit charge for the EVA authorizations. Like I said, I didn't include that in the previous budget. I wasn't even thinking about it. But that was $113.47. So we overspent by $113.47. So in total, our expenses for this payday, or this week, I mean, were $558.68. And so if I take the 530 minus the 558.68, we had overspent in general $23 or $28. Oops, I don't know why I wrote 3 because I said 23, I bet. I don't know where my brain's at, which is why I invested in these friction pens, because instead of having to deal with a whiteout, I can erase it. That is just super cool. I didn't even know it was a thing. So if you guys are interested in them, I'll link them down below, but they are a lifesaver. I love being able to erase those. So that's how this week turned out. One other thing that I wanted to show you was how I'm keeping track of it in YNAB and what it looks like when I use the different categories and stuff. So let's go ahead and switch over to that really quick, and then we'll go ahead and close up the video. Okay, so ignore me. I took a shower just a little bit ago, and I am waiting for my hair to dry. And I haven't really done anything with my face yet because I'm going to do a microdermabrasion, and I wanted to make sure that my face was nice and clean before I did that. So I don't have a whole lot of makeup on, but right now you guys are seeing my YNAB. We did receive my husband's paycheck, and it ended up being $465-ish more than what I budgeted for. So the change I went ahead and I threw into our spending account buffer. And so far you can see kind of what we had budgeted for. Now, when I closed out the paycheck budget last video, I did already kind of net some of the numbers. So you can see where we've adjusted for our budget items when I netted those numbers. These are the total activity for the month. And then this is what's remaining. So I still have $40 for household supplies. Grove still does not have my wood cleaner in stock. Let me see if I can grab that. So this is the wood cleaner that I like to use. And as you can tell, I'm getting really, really low. And so I would like to place another order for that, along with some more dryer balls, because sadly the dogs got a hold of our dryer balls and I can only find one of them. So I need to replenish some of that. So I'm going to leave that $40 out there. But you can see in total with the shopping, we have actually overspent by $34.98, which I think does include some of the net from last payday because I don't have it. I don't think I closed out the shopping because I was trying to decide what I was going to do with the shopping. So I guess I didn't close out everything from the previous budget, but because we overspent, it is in red. I do have a little bit of a spending account buffer going on. We do have $85 left over for auto expenses. We have some grocery money. We still have $195 to finish paying for the medical expenses. And then I did try to separate out like the regular food purchases from the eating out purchases. So as you can tell, like we went way over in eating out. So that's pretty much our spending account. Bill pay account, that's where I covered the, what do you call it? The Intuit charge. And when I get the money, my mother-in-law has already paid me, but she paid me in cash. So I'm gonna have to go to the ATM and put the money into the bank because usually I do mobile deposit. So that's gonna hang out there until I get the money from her. And then these are just everything else that we've already budgeted for that haven't cleared the bank yet. If it's in orange, those are items that I've created a goal for. So it tells me on whether or not I've hit the goal, which just means I've saved the money back to cover the bills. And then on these ones, because I budgeted a little higher for it, you can see that I met my goal, but then when I transferred out the amount that we over budgeted for it, it ended up turning it orange again, which is fine with me. I really just wanted a general idea so that I can make sure that I'm saving enough back when the bills come due. Auto insurance, I didn't adjust for the change when I made the budget for the $585. So that's still showing at $583, but that's okay with me. And then entertainment, we still have our Spotify and our Netflix subscription that's going to come out later. Capital One, I have a little bit of the debt savings money kind of earmarked back for this because we're really trying to pay that off at the end of the month. And then you can see our sinking funds. So that's kind of where it's at for the month. I haven't contributed anything to this one, so that's why there's no activity. But I did start kind of netting out where we've over budgeted. So this week, since I'm closing things out, I will end up making a transfer for that into that account, and then that will be saved back to pay a bill probably next payday after we get this Capital One paid off, because I'm pretty sure we can pay that off next payday. I am super, super excited. But I just kind of wanted to show you what the budget looked like. Um, like I said, I do have this money up here that I do not have budgeted in there yet. And that's because we've been trying to figure out what we're going to do about our smoking habit and our eating out habit. And so I think we finally figured out what we're going to do. And so we're probably going to end up using that money to help curb what we have been spending on eating out as well as smoking. So that's kind of just earmarked out there for later. And then because this is Saturday, it has already imported some of the transactions from the bank that I didn't sit down and post yesterday. And so these are just sitting there as unbudgeted, but they didn't happen until after I close out the payday because they happened yesterday. So I will come back in here and I will categorize those for next week's paycheck budget. So that's what YNAB looks like so far for us. But one thing I wanted to show you is that I'm going to go ahead and clean up these overspent items. So with dining out, we're going to cover that account with our grocery fund, because dining out just gets netted with our groceries at the moment. So then that leaves $34.77 left over for groceries. So same thing with shopping. I know we overspent a little bit, and I'm pretty sure that that net difference in there between what was it, the 1482 that I already had budgeted, that must be something that's carrying over from last payday that I didn't clear out. Oh, excuse me. I wanted to make sure that I kind of showed my husband how the new software worked and everything. So there were a few things that I didn't adjust for, like the car insurance, and shopping must have been one of them, just because I wanted to show him what a negative looks like in the system. So we're going to end up covering this with the groceries. We don't plan on buying any more groceries until we get paid next week, so we should be fine there. And then so that just leaves 21 cents that we're still over budgeted. And I will go ahead and pull that from our spending account buffer. And then that way it will all go to zero. And that way I can also leave our auto expense intact. I don't think we're going to need to fill up until next payday, but I do want to leave that out there because we're also going to need some oil changes here pretty soon. And I have $80 in the auto sinking fund right now, but I just want to make sure that we have plenty of money to cover I'm sorry, I'm all tongue-tied. Cover the oil changes, and then we also need to get some windshield washer fluid, and maybe, I'm not positive, but I think we're also going to need to get some wiper blades. So I want to go ahead and leave as much in there as possible. That way we can go ahead and cover those expenses that are going to be coming up. So whatever doesn't get used this payday, I'm going to transfer over into the auto sinking fund until we can make an appointment or whatever we need to do to get the oil changed. So that's where that's sitting at. But yeah, I'm really, really enjoying the software so far. It's taken a little bit to get the hang of it, but I think I'm catching on pretty good. And I'm hoping that this is going to give us a better grasp on all of our spending and our budgeted. And I just love the fact that I can actually see where I have the money earmarked out for those future expenses. So homeschool, this weekend I'm going to be taking care of some more homeschool purchases. I'm really trying to get our homeschool year lined out. And then if everything goes to plan and the kids finish helping us around the house, we'll also give them some allowance money. So that's kind of where that's at. And then I do still have some money out here for debt savings. So right now the debt savings is kind of covering that business expense until I can get the money put back into the account from our parents when I finished their taxes this last week. But that's where it's at. So thank you guys so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and leave a comment down below. I would love to hear from you. If you would like to know more about YNAB, please let me know and I will do a more in-depth tutorial on how we've been using it and how we've created our budget and just how it kind of links and the process of creating savings goals, spending goals, or payoff goals. You can actually put debt in here and it will help you figure out how much to contribute each month so that you can pay it off within a certain time limit. So it really has some neat functionality to it. So yeah, if you want to see more about that, let me know. So far, I am really enjoying it. But thank you guys so much for sticking around and watching this with me. And we'll see you next time. Bye.